let's just deal with the tribes as we know them, right? So-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Amongst the tribes of Israel, right? Everybody don't look like so-called Negroes, so it's not a black thing, right? The scriptures, the Lord said, Israel is like a speckled bird, right? And the Lord, when you look on the earth, the Lord dealt with variety. The Lord didn't mean for everybody to look the same, everybody to look like each other, be clones, right? Look at the trees, right? You have oak trees. An oak tree looks totally different from a cedar tree. When you see a cedar tree, well, I mean, if you are familiar with nature, right? A cedar tree looks completely different from a palm tree. You got weeping willow trees. You got, you know what I mean? Different trees. And they look at, a palm tree does not look like an oak tree. There's no way you can mistake it. You see what I'm saying? Right? Look at the animal world. A tiger, even though they're both of the same, somewhat the feline species, a tiger looks different from a lion. Right? A black panther looks different from a tiger. Jaguars, they look different. The animals look different. In the reptile world, right, you have snakes. A snake is a reptile. Then you have an alligator. The alligator looks totally different from a snake. You see what I mean? Different animals, different, you know, even the bison, the buffalo, a bison, the American bison, it looks different than a cow. You can tell the difference. When you see a bison, you know, oh, yeah, no, that's a bison. That's a buffalo. And when you see a cow, you know it's a cow. You see what I mean? It's completely different. So the Lord deals with variety. So just like the Lord created everything to be different, right? You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to Israel, you're going to have Israelites coming. And remember, we caught a lot of flack for this years ago, right? Because we was, through the Spirit of the Lord, of course, but we could back it in the scriptures. You know, we used to always say, yeah, man, certain people we believe in the Spirit got to be Israelites, even though they might look like Edomites, or they might look like other nations. And, oh, man, Jake went nuts. Jake lost their damn mind, man. They're saying this one's an Israelite. They're saying that one's an Israelite. Like years ago when they brought us to council, and Apostle Gabar was speaking, and Apostle Gabar had said it. He said, look, man, you guys ain't spiritual in here. He said, you guys think everybody going to come in here looking like, I think every brother going to come in here looking like John Shaft. I mean, I don't know if you younger brothers are familiar with Shaft. It was an old movie from the 70s. This guy, Richard Roundtree, he was an actor that played this character Shaft back in the 70s. You know, during the so-called, that blaxploitation era when they were making all them, you know, them black movies from the 70s. And by the way, Shaft was a damn good movie. Right? He played like this guy, he was supposed to be a black private eye detective. He was like the real first black action hero, right? Shaft, no, but he was the quintessential Jake, you know? He was, you know, dark-skinned Jake. You know, he wore the black leather, the afro, you know? So that's how guys, or Wesley Snipes. Every Israelite gonna come in looking like Wesley Snipes. You see what I'm saying? No. You're gonna have Israelites out here of the elect. Some of them are going to come in looking like Edomites, like white people. Some of them are going to look like Orientals. They're going to look like some of these other nations because the seed goes with the man. The scriptures tell you that. The man is not of the woman. The man is not of the woman, but the woman is of the man. The scriptures tell you that. So that means the man carries the seed. So if a black man, let's say, has sex with an Oriental woman and they have children, what nationality are those children? And let's say the children come out looking like their mother. The mother's genes might be a little more dominant for whatever reason. It happens. Are those children Jake? Yes, they are. That's what the scriptures say. The seed is of the men, as the scriptures say, through the pedigree of their fathers. So Israelite men pop women of other nations. Jake loved doing that. Jake been doing that for thousands of years. Okay? Jake been doing that. Israel been doing that for thousands of years. You see what I mean? Now, just because you got Israelites scattered amongst other nations, are they all Israelite men pop women of other nations? Jake loved doing that. Jake been doing that for thousands of years. Okay? Jake been doing that. Israel been doing that for thousands of years. You see what I mean? Now, just because you got Israelites scattered amongst other nations, are they all going to be saved just because they're Israelites? No. The Israelites here in America that we know are so-called Israelites by how they look, some of them ain't going to be saved. They're of the 2/3. Right? You see what I'm saying? And then furthermore, wait a minute, did not Esau and the other nations rape the Israelite woman? So for all you knuckleheads out there that have an issue with that, you got people out here, you got guys walking around that look, he might look just like Wesley Snipes and be an Edomite. You know, maybe his great-grandfather was a damn cracker that raped a black woman in slavery. Right? Esau was raping the women of all the tribes, right? He was raping the so-called Native American women too. Right? You got guys walking around, they might look just like Sitting Bull, but be an Edomite. It's possible. That's what I mean. So it's not always about appearance. It's about the spirit. You see what I mean? So I just wanted to make that quick point. I don't know why the spirit brought me into that. But the spirit, that's something, I haven't touched on that in a while. But, you know, the vibration, I'm going to put that vibration out there to show you brothers through the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you got to look with spiritual eyes. The spirit is what discerns everything. You see what I mean? And what's the main way you know if somebody's really an Israelite, especially if they in the truth? What is it? Psalms, right? 147, 19 and 20. So for you, any of you brothers are wondering, how do I know I'm an Israelite? How do I know I'm not a heathen or what? Well, Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. So if you come into this truth and the spirit of the Lord is dealing with you, okay, and you can retain the knowledge and understand the knowledge and the spirit is dealing with you, then more than likely you have to be an Israelite. If you're a heathen, you ain't going to be able to receive this word. This word is only for Israelites. You see what I mean? So I'll leave you brothers with that. All right? No matter what you look like. Okay? It ain't nothing about the physical. It's about the spirit that's in you. As the scriptures say, there is a spirit in man. You understand? But with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Lord willing, I'll be back with some more follow-up videos throughout the day. I say shalom once again to the hopeful elect.